I woke up to a few missed calls, went on my emails, seen that the results were in, and was alarmed to see that they had suggested that I needed to go to A&E because my ALT level was quite elevated. Welcome back to the YouTube. Today we are going to be talking all things supplements, health stacks, performance enhancers, and we're going to get into each supplement, and you're joining me ready to pack the next 6 weeks of supplements. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a little total up in the, probably put it up in this corner here, and I'm going to run through the cost of these supplements for a typical 30-day stack. So if it's a 3-month supply, I'll divide it and I'll work out what I spend in a month. It's probably more interesting for me than it is for you guys to know what I spend, because I lose track. I'll take a few off the table to start with that are staples. I have Trained by JP Dream Sleep. So this is a sleep and relaxation product. It contains ashwagandha. It contains ZMA, which is proven to improve sleep. It's got magnesium in there as well, valerian root. There's a full panel of ingredients, all clinically researched. This one is minoxidil. This is a topical spray. Spray it into your hair. Prevents hair loss. Been using it for about 2 years. I like to think it does something. So I have Perform's pre-workout. This is a stim, a pump, and it has nootropic in there as well. It's a fantastic pre-workout. This flavor, the fizzy cherry one, this got me through prep. I only use it now on big training days, so maybe a leg day. I don't want to become unresponsive to it. So it's got caffeine in there. I don't want to overuse and abuse caffeine. I'll keep that for when I'm dieting. Also, caffeine is an appetite suppressant. So the last thing I want to do when I'm pushing 5,500 calories is suppress my appetite. So next we have Twin Turbo. So this is by Engineered Muscle. It's an injectable L-carnitine, and it's got choline in there. Choline is proven for cognitive function, alertness, awareness, and that sort of thing. L-carnitine, everybody's probably heard of it. It is proven to assist with the breakdown of fat cells, oxidize them ready for use for energy. Every single morning, it goes in fasted. I eat pretty much half an hour later. So that one stays in all year. I want to see if it helps me keep the body fat off this year. Again, it's a 0.5%, maybe even a 1%. I'm going to take every single percent I can. Then we have turbocharged V2. Let's say a performance enhancer again. So it's got L-carnitine in it as well. It's got L-arginine in there. It's got theanine, AMP, ATP, and it's very, very well dosed. This again is not an oral one. This is an injectable. It's pre-workout basically. It's going to give you a really good pump. If this helps me get 1 extra rep throughout the entirety of the session, it's worth having in there. And then last but not least, from the Turbo range from Engineered Muscle, this one is health, it's not performance. This one is glutathione and vitamin C. This one is an injectable, primarily because it's not bioavailable or very highly bioavailable when consumed orally. The stomach will destroy the majority of the glutathione. That said, I also take Glutathione Max by Strom, so I'm doubling up on that glutathione. And glutathione is the master antioxidant. It is clinically proven to reduce stress on the liver and stress on all the organs. So with my recent blood tests, which I'm going to go through later on, this is a staple. I've been taking this for about 2 weeks. I have a blood test tomorrow. My ALT levels have been raised, alarmingly. They've been quite high. The doctors couldn't figure out why. I've decided to self-medicate, and I've got some glutathione, and I'm going to see tomorrow, and I'll bring you along for that, if it's made any sort of drastic improvements to my blood markers. So it's going to be really intriguing to see whether this has made a big difference, or if not, at least we know what it's doing. Systelmax by Strom, blueberry flavor. Systelmax is designed to help with blood pressure and blood flow within the body. It's got a lot of ingredients in there that are going to help with the flow of blood. It's going to reduce blood pressure, so I take that daily, 1 scoop. In terms of blood pressure as well, I take telmisartan, which is a blood pressure medication that will keep my blood pressure within range. Hydrate by Perform, the lemon flavor is incredible. It's my favorite one at the moment. I have one of them intra when I am training, and I have one when I wake up in the morning. This contains potassium, it contains taurine, sodium, pink Himalayan salt. It contains all of the vital electrolytes that your body will sweat out during the night. A dehydrated muscle underperformed by, I think it's around 20 odd percent. So that 20% is a big jump. So that is Perform Hydrate. Okay, then we have EAAs by Perform. We've gone for tropical pineapple this time. I've tried quite a few of the flavours. Tropical pineapple seems like the nicest one. It's probably the one I'll stick to. An essential amino acid. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein within your body. They're going to help you recover. They're going to help you get stronger. They're going to help you perform better in the gym. And again, that is something that we're looking to do. I take these intra-workout. It's going to be when my body is most susceptible to protein muscle breakdown. So I'm going to have these in there so there's plenty of aminos going around for my body when it needs them most. Again, maybe a 2%er, but it's going in there because all of these percents add up. We then have Perform Whey, which, do I need to explain what whey is? It's a protein. Effectively, this is just a supplementation or a way to increase my protein intake. When I'm having my post-workout, I want it to be quick, acting, easy to digest, easy to absorb. So whey protein ticks that box. Yes, I could have chicken. Do I want to have Cocoa Pops and chicken? Probably not. Performs Cream of Rice, the new formula. Cream of rice is a carbohydrate source. It's highly digestible. It's really easy for me to consume in large volumes. Per 100 grams, there is 74 grams of carbs in there and 1.4 grams of fat. So it's low fat, it's high carb. Protein-wise, there's not much in there, 7.2. So it's a really good carb source. It's easy to digest, like I said. It tastes delicious. You mix this with the whey. You can make a whey paste or throw some berries in there. So onto the health supplementation. These are taken daily, AM and PM. They go in these really handy organizers so that I just have to pop it open, throw the pills in my hand and swallow them. Next is Engineered Muscles Turbo BCP. This is an oral BCP. This one is known to help with gut problems and prevent an optimal sort of digestive tract. So I take this every single morning on a fasted stomach. Well, it goes in with meal one. Curcumin, an anti-inflammatory. Now I take this as far away from training as possible. So this is a PM one. This goes in just before I go to sleep. It contains 400 micrograms of curcumin. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it helps me with any sort of stress, any sort of issues that are going on within the body. Next up, we have the heart supplements. So we have Heart Care and Love Heart. The two of them do different jobs. Ideally, if JP could put them into one capsule, that would be fantastic, but it's a lot of pills as it is. Love Heart was the original sort of health sup. It contains citrus bergamot, it contains grapeseed extract, and some other ingredients in there that are shown to improve kidney health, improve your cholesterol, and reduce blood pressure. I have LVH, left ventricle hypertrophy, so health subs and heart subs are always going to be in there. Next is the Heart Care. Now this contains, I don't know how you pronounce this, nattokinase, I think it is. I used to buy that as a raw ingredient because when the COVID vaccine went out, a lot of people were getting blood clots, and this was one of the most researched supplements on the market to prevent that happening. It contains red yeast extract, artichoke, lowers bad cholesterol, improves the good cholesterol, and it reduces the risk of blood clots. So that was kind of, for me, something I used to supplement with myself when I bought the ingredients as a raw. Okay, next is Multimax. This is by Strom. I'm not really loyal to any of the brands in terms of supplementation when it comes to multivitamins because I think they're all pretty well panelled. Trained by JP have just done a new one, and that is called The One, and I will be switching to that when this one runs out, so that might even be today because it doesn't feel like there's many in there. Then we have vitamin D3 and K2. This is by Perform. It's very well dosed. I would say that a large percentage of the UK are deficient in D3, and that's just due to the lack of sunlight, especially now we're in November. Next is Thrombomax by Strom. Now, this one is designed, again, it's got some nattokinase in there, pine bark, it's got some other ingredients in there that the JP one doesn't. So this one's going to help with blood clots, it's going to help with thickening of the blood, it's going to help with my hematocrit and my hemoglobin, which is normally just within range. Over a prolonged period of time doing bodybuilding, you know, your red blood cell count is going to get higher, hematocrit, hemoglobin, that stuff is going to increase. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I can quite easily afford to keep that in. If I don't and I die, I will kick myself from the grave. Folic acid. Now, this one's been in for a couple of years. As bodybuilders, when we train and we break down the muscle and we damage the body, our body is going to break down from the liver and it's going to release ATP in the bloodstream. And now when we get our bloods taken and the ATP is high, that is normal. If we take a few days off the gym, say 4 days off, and then did the bloods, they would probably be within range. They might be slightly elevated, should be below 50. Mine typically sit around 70, 75. This time it was not. This time it was, the highest reading I think I had was 1,100 and something. That's why I'm doing this video on where my health is at, and it has improved and it's coming down and nobody knows what it was that was causing it, but we will find out. Next up, Vital Support by Trained by JP. This is on cycle support. I take it off cycle too. It contains astragalus, it contains tudka. It's a great supplement for looking after your organs and it's called Vital Support because your organs are vital. Next we have krill oil. Krill oil has been proven to increase your good cholesterol and reduce your bad cholesterol. This is something I've added in since my last bloods where it was slightly down. I just wanted to get it within range. And last but not least, my least favorite tablet, because I hate fish, is Omega Pharma Pro by Trained by JP. This is exactly the same as the krill oil. This is going to help with my cholesterol levels. It's got very, very high doses of EPA and DHA. So when you're picking your health supplements, make sure you're getting a good quality brand. If you're getting them from Holland & Barrett, Tesco, Poundland, and the people that design the ones that go into there are just going to cut corners, and you're going to have 30 tablets just to try and get the equivalent of what's in 4 of these. I'm going to pack all these into here. This is my least enjoyable part of the month. Okay, a couple of supplements that I forgot were metformin, which is a diabetic drug. It helps me not get fat when I'm bulking. It also helps with weight loss when you're dieting. And boron, don't know how it's pronounced, but it's great for joint, bone health. There's a lot of benefits to it. Actually a natural testosterone booster as well. So as you can see here, there is a lot of pills to take, and it takes a long time. I don't know how long that's been, maybe like 40 minutes to pack all those up. So yeah, that's just off the top of my head. That's currently what I take supplement wise. It is a lot, and health is wealth. So guys, today I'm going to run through blood tests, why I do them, how often I do them, and the importance of doing them as well. Now, in the sport of bodybuilding, we obviously push the limit with training, with supplementation, with our bodies, with our health. I did some blood tests post-show and everything was within a decent range. The idea was then to do them 10 weeks later once food had started to increase, once training and performance had started to level itself out, and then go from there. And it was the second lot of blood tests, which was further away from the show, which was actually quite a surprise. I was expecting everything to be green, to get straight back to it. I woke up to a few missed calls, went on my emails, seen that the results were in, and was alarmed to see that they had suggested that I needed to go to A&E because my ALT level was quite elevated. I have since had many blood tests on top of that. They've told me not to train, they've told me to fast. I've done all of those things, and the blood tests were still coming back high. So I paid privately. I went to London, I went to a liver specialist. I've had ultrasounds, I've had scans of all my abdomen, my spleen, my gallbladder, my kidneys, my liver, and everything, I am pleased to say, has come back as green. There was no issues, there was no complications. I spoke to him at length about what I do, what could be causing it, and he seemed to think it was potentially supplementation. And when I say supplementation, I mean he thinks creatine potentially is one of the issues. So I have since taken creatine out. Tomorrow I will be doing bloods again, and it will have been nearly 2 weeks since I last did my blood test. So it'll be interesting to see if, or if not, that taking creatine out has improved the blood markers. Also, I've added in glutathione, injectable version of it, because the oral one obviously wasn't doing a good job. So it'll be interesting as well to see whether that's had potentially a combination of the both. So just up at Nobles Hospital to get some blood tests done. So my GP has sent me for 412 blood tests now. They obviously don't seem to know what is causing the elevated ALT level. So this is now 2 and a bit weeks since my last blood test. My last blood test had come down a massive amount. So the GP said she was happy with the direction it was going in. So we shall see what it is. Hopefully later on today I'll get those results back. Hopefully it's come down again and I can just get on with my life. So another way of looking after yourself that isn't just supplementation and blood tests and health is getting a sports massage, getting some sort of treatment to help with your range of movement, to help with mobility, and just help with your overall sort of recovery from your sessions. So Kevin, I have been using for about 2.5 years now. He comes round at least every 2 weeks and gives me and Christy a sort of full body MOT at least every couple of weeks, and it's relaxing, it's expensive, you know, you're gonna have to pay for these sort of things. It's someone's time, it's someone's expertise. So the results are in, and judging by the smile on my face, they were good. So 14th of October, which is about a month ago, they were 1,037, which was crazy high. That's 20 times above the limit of where they should be. They dropped then on the 17th, which is 3 days later, to 658. Then I did a further test on the 23rd of October. They were 289. And then the test today has come in at 102. So it's decreased by 10 times. It's 10 times lower, which is fantastic, because normally I think the last test I did from probably around 3 months ago was at 120, which is kind of normal for me. So I'm really, really happy with those results. It's the all clear. Both the scans were clear. The blood tests are now clear. So it's time to get in the grow bag and really start to pick up this off season. So just about to head out to You Improved to use the body balancer. Now, this aids in recovery, reduction of water retention, reduction of fatigue, inflammation. So it's something that I used prior to a couple of shows last year, and it's something I want to keep in the off season to keep my mobility good, keep my recovery there. It's not a supplement, but it kind of is something that I spend money on to help me perform and help me recover. And yeah, I'll take you along because it's quite an interesting little machine.
Surprised you're fitting it.
It was a lot lighter last time. It's the first time I've been here and I've been dieting, so I had a chocolate.
Did you?
I know, dead naughty.
Were they worth it?
Yeah, it's got mint tape.
Yeah, it's a little bit of mint.
There we go.
So we're going to go for the more intense one. We'll do like post. It's all good for pre-workout as well.
Let's get a tight around the quads.
So it's 24 air chambers. So what's going to happen at the moment is it's going to feel whereabouts Danny is in the suit and gauge sort of how much pressure can be put in through those air chambers.
Yeah.
And then once it figures out that, it will basically continue for 45 minutes of a constant massage, pushing it upwards. So with the different settings, with the post-workout, it's a bit more intense. So obviously it goes into the muscles, whereas your lymphatic setting is really
just
good
kind of like
for
drainage,
flushing out toxins. So it's softer, but it's still really relaxing.
So I'm in the body balancer at You Improved. This is something I've used pre-show before to get rid of water retention, inflammation, fluid, and just kind of a little bit of fatigue as well. So pre-show, when I was doing classic physique and I had the legs out, I come and jumped in this bag, and the next day I woke up and my legs were extra lean. They were definitely not holding any fluid. So I'm using this now for performance purposes as opposed to the aesthetics. So 24 hours after the treatment in the body balance bag, and I woke up this morning, I felt great. I trained legs this morning at 5 a.m. It's now 9 a.m. So I've been in, I've done the session, I felt fresh. PBs, literally every single exercise was getting full of PBs. There was no fatigue, there was no inflammation or anything like that. I woke up and they were very vascular. I'll pop up a check-in video I captured this morning just of my quads prior to training, before any of the inflammation and fatigue sort of got smashed into them. But today's session was filled with PBs. It was a very good session, and I put that down to having a fresh set of legs for it. Definitely worth a go if you've never been in it before. So yeah, they have Black Friday offers on. I got 20 quid off the treatment, so I made the most of that, and I'm going to go and get another one just before the offers end next week. So if you've never tried it, it's definitely worth a go. It's a very unique sensation, and that kind of wraps it up for, I've ran through pretty much everything that I go through in a week. Supplementation, the cost of my supplementation, the treatments, the massages, the lymphatic drainage, the body balancer. If you've got any questions on any of the supplementation I take or anything that I've gone through in this video, drop a comment below, and make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next YouTube. Thanks for watching.